Hello everybody, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be talking about portfolios. My name is Andres Cabrera, and today we're going to be discussing this very important resource that we can use in our classes. We have here some big ideas about portfolios. Portfolios is a systematic collection of students' work, and they serve as a variety of instructional and assessment processes. The use of portfolios has increased in the past 20 years. It is mainly used for the students' assessment and students' progress. As we were talking earlier, what is a portfolio? Well, a portfolio is the collection of selected students' work, and they serve as a particular purpose such as documentation or students' growth in certain areas. They're also a portrait of a person's accomplishment, usually benefited from the teacher's feedback and peers' feedback. This is very important that as teachers we are always aware that the growth will occur if we give the better feedback. So if we have a correct interaction between the students' work and our feedback on it, the students will learn from their mistakes and from their new perspectives, and they will include that in their portfolio. Key steps in defining, implementing, and using portfolios. There are some key steps that we must take into account for this. Number one is to specify the purpose. We need to specify the purpose of the portfolio because otherwise we'll be collecting work that will turn into busy work. What do we want to do with the portfolio? What is it going to be working for? So that's the first step to think about. Number two, provide guidelines for selecting portfolio entries. Be clear to your students of what kind of work you are expecting them to put in the portfolio, about the quality of the work. Probably having a rubric would be very useful, so the students know what they're supposed to put in the portfolio. Define the student role in the selection and self-evaluation. What do you want the student to be in this project? Do you want the student to have an active role of actually reflecting on their progress? Or do you want the student just to be the person that produces work and you the one who's going to be giving feedback? What kind of cognitive process you want the student to have in this project. Number four is to specify the evaluation criteria. That's why it's important to have a rubric. If you have a rubric, you will have this evaluation criteria in an easier way, and the students will know of what do they need to work on in order to get better results. And number five is to use the portfolio in instruction and communication. We can use the portfolio as a way to communicate as teachers to parents. We can also use the portfolio to teach the students how to do something. So there are many ways that we can use portfolios. There are some strengths and weaknesses that portfolios have. For example, portfolios can be easily integrated into instruction. They also provide students with the opportunity to show what they can do. They encourage students to be reflective learners. They provide the opportunity for students and teachers to keep track of progress and growth. They can provide a bridge between parents and teachers for the students' progress. So as you can see, there are many good possibilities and strengths that portfolios could be used in the classroom. However, we have some weaknesses that we have to take into account in order to consider the idea of implementing portfolios in the class. Weaknesses. It is very time consuming for teachers and for students. Preparing material for the portfolios, it is going to be time consuming for you to grade those and for the students to produce that quality of material. Teachers need to find the conception for adding busy work to the portfolios. Add really meaningful work that you want your students to be able to accomplish. Do not add just worksheets of something that is gonna be just busy work, just try to make it as meaningful as possible so the students would appreciate that as a way of reflecting their own learning process and also producing some high quality work. The ratings of portfolio are relatively low. When we talk about grading a portfolio, the importance of having a rubric relies on the fact that we are not tied to subjective kind of grading system. So that's why the portfolio's ratings are relatively low, because if you talk about higher institutions, they would not use it as much, because we probably would need to have a structured rubric in order to grade those. And then teachers need to fight the naive perception that portfolios can be easily created. Portfolios demand you a lot of time, and you have to be conscious about how time-consuming these portfolios could be. But why do we want to implement portfolios? According to Sarkert, Smith, Ellington, and Rabin, they point out that the ethnic differences are reduced when using portfolios and other more realistic assessments instead of traditional testing. And that's something that we, as special education teachers, we should be taking into account. And we all know that testing environments sometimes are subject to bias, gender bias, and as well as race bias. So this is a very good way to break those differences. Now we have 5 strategies to implement portfolios. Number 1, let the students use or choose the platform. If the students want to use an online platform, or probably like a blog, or if the students want to create like a web page that they can use to collect all the data, or if the students want to have a regular paper portfolio, just let them be creative with that. But also, according to what they choose, have a rubric ready for those things. Number 2, have the students reflect on their own learning process and the product. Have the students think about what they've learned by doing the project. Have the students also think about and reflect on how did they get to the end of the project, how did they accomplish the masterpiece of the project. So have the students reflect on their own learning process and what they have done in the portfolio. Number 3, choose a variety of work. You can choose students' best work, or you can use students' favorite work, or the work that students have shown the most progress. Number 4, include portfolios in your lesson plans. Make sure that you are conscious that you use these portfolios in order to keep track of your own implementation of these strategies in the classroom. And number 5, use multiple resources. Have students not only do worksheets but also drawings, could be artwork, could be videos, could be audios, could be anything that is connected to the topic you want to address in these portfolios. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope this is very useful for you, and I hope that you have gained some knowledge on how to implement, use, and why should we use portfolios in our classrooms. Have a great day. Bye bye.